song I heard in my life. Learn how to write, turn on the lights. You can see how I murdered you right. Rap dagger, serrated knife, blood splatter, change the lights. Ceilings red, repainted white. I ain't done, repainted twice. I'm right on.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Wackstah, and I am joined today by the lovely Cabbage.
Hi, guys.
And this is Chillin with SV. You already know how it goes down by now. We just talk some Brawlhalla things and some IRL things over some nice spars. So, Cabbage, my man, how are we doing today?
Pretty good, considering, whole coronavirus thing, but,
Yeah.
The usual.
That's good to hear, man. That's good to hear. I hope that hasn't been affecting you too much in recent months. Obviously, that is, of quite the concern.
Yeah, I mean, Ontario, it has a lot of cases, but, it's usually, not specifically where I live in Ontario.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, so, and we haven't been, panic buying, right? Because my mom's in, she's, always in control. I'm saying,
Yeah.
she knows, she plans out stuff, so we've been ready for a while. Ooh.
Hey, that's cool, man. It's always good to have a plan in situations like this. But to get onto the Brawlhalla side of things, you are you've bounced around a couple of clans here and there, but right now you are the in-game leader of Storm Viper's main.
Yep.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about a big milestone that we've reached very recently, hitting level 100 on the main clan. It took us about 3 years to do it, but we finally done it. And I believe it was under your watch as well. You had just become the leader of that branch.
Oh. Well, yeah, it was, I wasn't on when it happened. It was actually one of the members that got the XP. But it was kind of crazy when I heard it, because, I've been, part of all three clans. Oh, well, both clans at the time, Storm Vipers and Storm Vipers 2. I switched between them, officer and then member, and then I was co-leader of Storm Vipers 2 for a time. So I got an XP, a lot of XP for both clans. So, but each time it reset. So even it still counted toward the XP. Yeah, my XP reset for that clan. But hearing that we'd hit level 100 is actually pretty exciting for me, because the clan's been going for a while. Silver and TTS, the first
the
founders
of
the clan. Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's a goal they've had in mind for a long time. Not many clans have hit level 100. I think it's Cute, 3DT, Tricks, and our last one. But yeah, so I'm glad that we're part of those ranks now.
For sure. It's been something that, as a clan, we've been grinding for quite a while, and it's, really cool to see that we finally did it. And we got our emote back in Brawlhalla because of it, so that's pog.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember when they announced that only clans at level 100 would get emojis. I sucked.
Yeah, that sucked, bro. Because we had it before. It was previously it was I think it was 25 registered members, and I actually distinctly remember that, because I think everyone kind of forgot about that for a little while, and then I was like, yo, how do you get your clan's emote in Brawlhalla? 25 registered members. Storm Viper had 100 at the time, so I'm like, yo,
yeah, we were one of the most.
Put us in there, bro.
We're still one of the highest clan members. We're still one of the biggest NA clans. So.
Actually, I think we're the biggest clan currently with in-game members in the world. I think the second highest is Melee, and we edge them out by 10 people. So that's actually kind of pog, bro. So that's actually really cool to talk about, really interesting to think about. But to move towards you in particular, you are a 2-season now. I think you hit Diamond this season. So a 2-season Diamond. I know for a while you were pretty hard stuck Plat Gold. Not to take anything away from you. We've all been there. So, and you actually played a crazy amount of ranked games, and I just wanted to know, like, what's your mental like? Because personally for me, I can barely get through, like, 50, 60 ranked games in a season, like, let alone, like, you were pushing 1,000 there. So, what's it like mentally to go through that kind of a slog, if you will?
It's not easy because, like most deep players, I have that thing against Lance and Axe, and that's what you see mostly in mid to high play.
Yeah.
So, like, every time I'd lose to, like, one of those, I'd slowly, like, start making more mistakes, and then I get angrier and angrier. But the whole time I had, like, this bad mindset of, wait, just get higher elo, and that's like a terrible mindset to have for rank. Because if you only care about elo, you won't be caring about improving. And like, in the end, even if you lose that elo, but you end up improving, you're eventually gonna gain that elo back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the mindset I began doing myself. And it took me 1,000 games to even start going through that mindset. So I'm glad I eventually reach that.
Well, when you think about it, if it took you 1,000 games to get there, if your mindset was what was holding you back, which it sounds like it was the primary thing, now you've overcome that. You clearly, you can clearly get to Diamond. You've proved that you can. So it seems like, you're set for the next season. Maybe you can push even higher, 2150 or 2100 rather. Something even more than that. So, it's great to see, man. It's great to see.
Yeah, that's definitely my goal. I've been working on, like, sparring more instead of rank, like sparring, like, higher ranked players.
Yeah, sparring is definitely a good way to improve.
Like, the person I spar most right now is Casey. He's in Stone Vipers Elite. He's like, I think he's a spearman. I'm not sure because he remains, like, random. But yeah,
Gotcha,
he's really good, and he really he really pushed me to combat. So.
Hey, that's good, man. Finding a sparring partner is definitely a great way to improve.
So, yeah.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in your future ranked grinds. Hopefully, it won't take you quite as many games to achieve your goals. Oof.
I think most of that was, like, playing ranked right after the reset, and that's when
that's where
all the pros.
Not the best time.
So that cost me, like,
of course, but you've climbed over the hill. You're over the hurdle. So hopefully,
it took me a lot of switching between main.
I was actually gonna segue into that. I was gonna ask, who did you first hit Diamond with, and what character do you think during that very long period do you think really helped you kind of grow as a player the most?
Definitely Diana. I think I played mostly with Diana. Blasters, like, even though I stopped playing here, Blasters definitely helped me, especially with spacing, because Blasters, you require a lot of spacing to, like, get your hits on.
Of course.
So she's basically where I learned my fundamentals of spacing. And then apart from that, probably Hattori. Insane movement, speed, and it's, like, fun to just dash around randomly. So yeah, and lastly, Fate. She was, like, one of my many mains that I've gone through so far.
Of course.
Or side. But yeah, she taught me, like, how to read reading properly. Swap sets literally centered about.
Hey.
So yeah, those are the 3 mains that I've gone through so far. I did have a period in time where I mained Orion. I'm pretty sure everyone had that.
Very
but
common
yeah, I mained
theme.
Orion. I have him level 40 right now.
Wow, bro, that's pretty sick.
But mostly it was a 6 spamming on my part.
So, who did you hit Diamond for the first time with?
Taros.
Oof. All right. Well, I mean, I respect the, I respect.
It was a tilt pick, honestly. I was just getting tilted. So I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna just spam NC. And
well,
it worked. Honestly.
if it works, it works, I guess. So yeah, that's cool, man. I mean, it's good to see. Of course, you know, playing around with your character picks is, you know, an important thing. Gotta find what works for you.
Yeah. It's always good to have like a variety of characters you can play.
Of course. You know, being a one-trick pony, it only takes you so far.
And being a one-trick works, like, but once someone like can counter you, especially like pro settings, once someone like can counter you and you don't have any other weapon to play, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah. So it's good. It's good that you know, diversify and you tried learning a lot of weapons and legends. That's good. That's good. And that segues very nicely into my other point. What weapon do you currently main, or would you consider the one you main, and why? Well, I guess it wouldn't necessarily be your favorite, but assuming that it is your favorite, why is it your favorite?
Right now, I main bow. I like the reason this like is one of the reasons I stopped playing the Ana. I always like kind of forced myself to like main blasters, even though I didn't like playing them in general. Like, so after I realized that, I was like, oh, what other legends? What weapons do I like playing? What weapons do I like playing? And I realized I was bow, sword, or scythe. So I knew I had to pick between one of those. And since I already had the experience from Diana, the bow, so I just decided to play bow.
Okay.
And then for that, I had to pick a secondary weapon. But of course, the legend had to have some decent save. So I mentioned one of my other weapons was sword, and you know, Cody's a great legend.
Yeah, very solid pick.
So, and he has good sigs, stats. So I decided to main Cody. But bow is my favorite weapon because like the amount of control you can exert over a player.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. Bow is like a crazy control weapon. It's really great to keep your opponent at bay, get stage control. It's got a very nice anti-aerial kit. Really just a solid weapon in general.
Yeah, nairs, and like everything. It just really works for my playstyle. So that's why I decided to main bow. I think sword is a relatively like not too hard weapon to pick up. So, which is why I'm taking the time to learn it. So that's why I picked Koji.
Yeah, no, I mean sword. It's a very basic weapon in its moves kit, but it's definitely extremely effective. And it's not something to be scoffed at, you know. It's a very good weapon pick. So that's great, man. It's good that you you know, found your main weapon. You know, the weapon that you like to play with and stick with. Moving away from this a little bit, outside of Brawlhalla, what is your favorite thing to do? Any hobbies, sports, that sort of thing?
Well, not many people do this, but I like reading.
Hey, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, so I read a lot. I read like a crap ton.
Do you have any genres or authors?
Mostly science fiction, fantasy, and sometimes mysteries.
Hey.
Definitely one of my favorite is Rick Riordan, Jack Frost. Not the character, but the writer.
Yeah.
He made a few good books. But yeah, those are my two current favorite.
Hey, that's great, man. I am also really into reading. I like a lot of the classic books. You know, I just finished up reading actually Jules Verne's Journey to the Center of the Earth. So it's definitely a fun thing to do, and you know, can definitely respect.
Yeah, not a lot of people like the prospect of staring at words for a long time, so that's why not many people do it. But it's actually really good, and it helps with grammar.
Yeah, for sure. Reading, it's, you know, I like to say it a lot. It's a fun thing to do, and it helps you in life, just like generally in speaking. writing, all that jazz. So that's cool to hear. Anything else you like to do?
Gaming, obviously.
Of course. Don't worry, we'll ask some more questions about that in a little bit.
What else? Oh, I play basketball. And that's pretty much. Oh, I do coding sometimes.
Hey, that's dope, man.
Yeah, I'm still learning though.
Hey, well,
So
everyone's
yeah,
got
those are
to.
mostly what I do, and on this free times I just hang out with my friends.
Well, that sounds great, man. So to kind of segue into the gaming bit there, do you have any other games that you play like actively other than Brawlhalla?
Oh, I've been getting into Terraria.
That's cool.
I have a run with a few friends. One of them's from SV Career. And apart from that, Don't Starve.
Don't Starve.
Together. Yeah. I also played Black Desert, Paladins.
Paladins is a fun game.
Overwatch.
Yeah. Very
People
solid
find
game.
weird because everyone thinks Paladins like an Overwatch copy. So like, why do you play Paladins if you have Overwatch? But Paladins is actually a really fun game on its own.
Of course. Kind of like the
Yeah,
same
I
Smash
played
Bros. Brawlhalla dynamic.
Yeah, basically.
Inspired by, but different.
And then Hitman. Those are the games I played most.
That's cool, man. That's cool. So, oof. God, gotta respect the dares.
Yeah.
So, a little bit more about that. Do you have any... assuming, because, I don't want to be an asshole when I say this, but assuming when you get tilted, is there any games that, like, really you just kind of go to to zone out or chill out to, or do you do something else to kind of calm down from that?
When I get tilted, I just listen to music, honestly. Because music's honestly so underrated. It helps so much. Like, I always play music when I'm playing to help me like keep concentrated.
Of course.
So yeah, if I get tilted, I'll usually just like spar with a friend and listen to some music, usually rap because that's my favorite genre. I'll play with some friends, listen to music, or if I'm like super tilted, I'll just hop off Brawl, maybe go to Terraria and build some things. Because one of my future prospects, I want to be an architect. So games like Terraria and Don't Starve that allow for a lot of creativity. Those are the kind of games I enjoy.
That's good, man.
So yeah, that's what happens when I get tilted, which is actually not that common anymore. So
hey, it's good to hear that. Good to hear that. I didn't actually know you wanted to be an architect. That's really cool, man. Was that like, just kind of going on a little tangent there, was that like something that you've pre-planned or like something you've always wanted to do or a new thing?
Actually, it's a bit after I went to a field trip to a university back when I used to live in Alberta. They took us like around each sector.
Yeah.
We learned a little bit about each job. So when we got to the architecture part, because at that time I was already really interested in drawing and designing. So when I heard about a job where you could basically do all of that for a living, kind of like piqued my interest like instantly. So yeah, that's how I got into architecture.
Wow,
And
that
the funny
sounds
thing
fun.
is, architecture requires like a ton of science, math.
Yeah.
And you can, I'm kind of bad at that. So
Hey, man, I mean, we can all overcome certain things about ourselves. If it's something you want to do, I'm sure you can push through that math.
It's gonna take a lot of effort, but yeah, I'll eventually get.
For sure, man. That's a great mindset to have. You want to do it, you need the math. You just got to get on that grind. Do 1,000 math problems. Anyway, so to kind of get back onto the gaming side of things, you've been with Storm Vipers pretty much as long as I have been, so about a year. you obviously have seen a lot of stuff go down. You've been staff for a fairly long time as well. What would you say is some standout moments in the SV lore that you have partaken in? Whether that's like drama or like just some random shit or like winning DBL or whatever, anything like that.
Major events in Storm Viper history. I've a lot of the stuff happened like long past, but I'd say oh yeah, alright, yeah, okay. I think the best part of being an SV was like our DBL run for sure, because like we were unbeaten, or is it almost unbeaten?
No, we were unbeaten the entire 8-0, I believe.
Yeah, and like there are like some huge plans, and doing that against that caliber of players, like it made me really proud to be in the clan. So yeah, that was definitely the best moment. There are obviously some other moments that shouldn't be mentioned, but yeah, that was definitely my favorite moment.
Hey, that's dope. I mean, personally, for me, I would definitely agree. Maybe it's just because, you know, I'm a DBL simp, you know? But that was just kind of a crazy run when you think about it. It had some, like, really close calls, like that lockdown CB, where Silver had to clutch up on his alt account because he was locked out of his main PC. That was pretty hype.
Yeah,
to keep the streak alive.
And lockdown, I kind of missed fighting. They were a good kind of. I don't even remember what happened to them.
Yeah, they kind of like after the first season of DBL, just kind of faded away a little bit. You know, so unfortunate, but I guess it happened.
Had a lot of good.
I'm sorry, what?
I said they had a lot of really good players.
Oh yeah, they had, you know, Strober, Convict, Ryu, a lot of really solid players.
Cloud was in there for a bit too.
Yeah, actually he was. And fun fact for those of you who may or may not know, our YouTube intro is actually footage from one of our CVs with Lockdown, where Disserin popped off for like 3 minutes of just little Lance Gimps, and then he proceeded to get 3-stocked by Convict.
I don't think I watched that CD, but yeah, Tyson's pretty crazy on Lance.
Yeah, man, and it was so funny watching it live because he was like going crazy, and it was against their best player, like Ryu, who in my opinion I would classify as better than Convict in, you know, some areas. Like he literally 3-stocked him. He just like absolutely destroyed this guy with Lance, and then next game, literally he got absolutely wrecked by Convict. And I was in the call, and everyone was just like, they were giving him so much shit for it because it was so bad. He played like garbage.
Lance is very oppressive.
Yeah. It's a very hard weapon to get right, but when you do, you can definitely hit some hot moments.
I had an argument with Dyson a few weeks ago about how Lance is easy to play. Like, but I think I kind of made myself misunderstood. It's not so much. It's like easy to learn, like pick up, but it's not easy to master, which is what I was trying to say. But that goes for most weapons, just like Axe. Like, you can do well with Axe on a low level, but getting good with it takes a lot of effort.
I definitely feel that, and I think that's, you know, one of the reasons why you see a lot of top level players, you know, people complain about, you know, Axe and Lance so much, but it's not really picked up too much by the highest level, highest caliber of players. And you know, there's obviously a reason for that. So I would tend to agree with you there. I think a lot of people who, you know, criticize weapon balance and like that heavily, you know, like Axe is broken or Lance is broken or whatever, just, I guess, haven't found an effective counter, or don't want to find an effective counter.
Honestly, I think the best counter to Lance is probably Axe, and I think Bo goes like 50-50 into it, at least according to Dog. I think I do well with Bo more than Axe, but in general, Lance just makes me angry.
I can definitely see why it would. I mean, you know, very explosive weapon, probably the most explosive weapon in the game.
Yeah.
Going from white to red is not fun. Nice.
Then again, I'm kind of bad at Axe anyway.
Oh. He says as he hits a pod clip, bro. Alright, so I know that you are a leader. In fact, I think you're the first person who's like currently a leader to be interviewed for this series. But I gotta ask, apart from yourself, okay? Because, you know, that would be a lame answer. Who's the coolest leader in SV? And if it isn't me, this interview is over.
It's obviously you.
Exactly.
And TTS. And
everyone else.
TGS. I miss TGS. Where is he?
TGS, we miss you, senpai.
But yeah, I think, but in all honesty, I think Silver, for dealing with all the bullshit, like, we put him definitely the chillest, best leader, main leader.
Silver is definitely a cool guy. Also, 6'1", by the way,
Yeah.
like, what?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how
get
that's
that
possible. I'll just sit here with my 5'9" looking ass. Anyway, that is a PogChamp moment. So, going back to you though, Cabbage, you are obviously still in school, or well, doing school. I guess you're not in school anymore due to this, you know, whole coronavirus thing. But you know, you get what I mean. Do you have any IRL Brawlhalla players, or is it just you?
Well, I did that thing where you get your friends to try Brawlhalla out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they didn't like it at all. Most of them like play Smash.
Ugh.
Not a lot of my friends are gamers, but like those of you that play games like this, they usually play Smash. But yeah, I've never gotten a friend to like completely get into Brawl yet.
Yeah, big word there.
Like me, I got into Brawl from literally Realm of the Mad Dog. Like, I was watching a stream, and one of the while the servers were down, the streamer like went on Brawlhalla, and it seemed like a cool game, so I just downloaded.
And the rest is history.
Yeah.
Oof. Wait, what? How did we
Didn't realize
double
I
clash
put
this?
this much money or time into it. But yeah.
But we don't regret it, hopefully.
Yes. Obviously. Not at all.
Wait.
What?
Okay then. We take those, boys. We take those. Salty Smash Moments number 24. Where you at?
Damn it. I just missed it. Dead.
It's okay, brother. But moving on even further from that, so you don't have consistent IRL Brawlhalla players. I know that where your area is in Ontario is actually kind of a hotbed for Brawlhalla players. They actually host, I don't know if they still do, but they used to host like, I guess provincial monthlies in that area. So that's kind of weird. I don't know if they still do that, but if they do, highly recommend you check it out. I think Costlix actually is the one.
Yeah, Costlix has a Discord for Toronto players. And does tournaments here. I actually live in Brampton, but that's like right outside Toronto.
Hey, man.
But yeah, there's a Discord for that. So.
Well, it would be something to look into, for sure. If they're still doing it, which I'm not aware. I don't know if they are. It'd be a shame if they aren't. But So, just another kind of question on the point of tournaments. You played in some of our monthlies. I don't believe, you didn't play in this recent one because Terraria things, but...
Yeah, I was playing Terraria.
But you've played in a couple of others at least. I don't remember how many per se, but I know you've played in like at least 2. So if you could just describe what your experience in those events is, and you know, some memorable moments, sets, gimps, whatever.
I think most of my fights were against Rome Elite players, and they were just trolling me the whole time. Yeah, so most of it, I think I played against High, and one of them he was playing Zom. Oh my god! I remember. I think I was still plat at that. So his movement was like insane for me. Like I couldn't even touch him. And like back at that point, I was like, I was still like in love with Lance. So I switched to Scarlet. I was like, now I'll destroy him for sure. But Lance is way harder to hit with than I actually think. So yeah, I didn't get a hit on him. And I lost to him. And then I think I went down and I faced Dyson.
Oof. That is a tough bracket.
Thing, but with Lance.
Well,
yeah. But
luckily you've improved since that point.
Yeah. Definitely. But I still think I'd get clapped by Dyson.
Well, to be fair, I think most people would get clapped by Discern.
Yeah, he's 2,300, so.
So nothing to be ashamed of there. Actually, I think he got 9th in this recent tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I would hope I'm not, because I'm literally the tournament organizer. But...
Yeah. Oh, that hit.
Ugh. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting. It's an interesting event, and I think it's something that's pretty unique to Storm Vipers. Not many other clans that have open tournaments. In fact, the only other North American clan that I can think of off the top of my head is Trix, and they haven't had one since like July. So.
Oh yeah, and I think Canada hosts tournaments. Admore.
Well, I guess you could classify those as clan tournaments. I don't really know.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Because I don't know if that's like just a streaming thing or if that's like actually affiliated with this thing. But yeah, they do that as well. But let me tell you, when we get into top 8 and everyone's pogging, usually for one of our SV players, shit gets hype, bro. I don't know if you saw our recent a little highlight montage thing. I don't even know what you would call it. But it was I think it was Losers Finals. Yeah, it was Losers Finals Game 4. Cloud reverse 3-stocked a guy named N8CP who was like making a huge run. But that's not the best part. My man's literally was literally red and unarmed. Last stock situation here. And he gimps my man with 2 dares and 2 ground pounds. And steals the game. Bro, that was like... I've casted a lot of tournaments. Like, for a lot of different people. I've done it for Twilight Esports. I've done it for Orion and Kryptonix stuff. I've done it for all of the SV monthlies. I've done it for a couple of other smaller streamer tournaments that I've been invited to. But I don't think I have ever seen someone steal a game like that before. It was crazy. It was crazy. So
I'm not even surprised. Cloud's pretty insane at the game.
Yeah, he recently got picked up by Awaken. So, you know, he's definitely a nutty player, one to watch for sure. If you're ever tuning into our streams, twitch.tv/StormVipers, by the way.
Yeah, I think Cloud, Blue Guy, Jolly.
All of them are, you know, top players for sure.
Yeah. for sure.
And that actually was going to kind of lead me into that. We are currently in the midst of a bit of a messier DBL Season 2. We're still undefeated. I think we're like 6 or 5-1, 5-0-1 or something. 5 wins, no losses, and a single draw, which is the worst result we've ever had in DBL. I just wanted to know, because we're probably going to be continuing that, we're going to be trying to at least, as normally as possible in the coming weeks. Do you think, first of all, that we could do the double in DBL and become the 2-time champions with our current lineup? And do you think it would be possible to do that undefeated once again? Or do you think, Exiled Ones is probably the biggest clan that is, our biggest contender right now? Oh, I think I got too focused on what I was saying, but, or do you think they'll knock us off?
I don't know much about Exiled Ones, but I haven't heard of any of their, really good players. I think Convict's in there.
Yeah, Convict, a guy named Dark Inferno, he's like a 2500 or something.
Oh yeah, I've heard of Dark Inferno. But honestly, I think our team's really solid, and I'm sure Exiled Ones will probably give us a challenge, but we can probably take it the second season. Maybe even if not completely undefeated, but we're probably still gonna take it.
Oh. Well, I mean, I don't know, man. Trying to be completely unbiased, which is almost impossible. It's Exiled One looking scary. So does Psychology. They look scary. All these clans.
Yeah, they're probably. I know it's stacked, but so weak technically.
Tis true. But it's definitely gonna be something interesting to follow. As that season progresses, to see where things end up.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna end up joining one of the work teams once I advance in Euro, because I'm focusing on improving right now. So
for sure, something to look out for, maybe.
Participate.
All right. Well, as we go into this final game of the episode, very briefly, just a couple of kind of fun questions to wrap things up. Starting with, who is your least favorite character to play against and why?
Oh my, Scarlet, without a doubt. I don't want when you Scarlet makes some fun right. It's insane. Definitely for her hammer. Side sig, it hits everything. I'm not. Down sig kills insanely early.
That's true.
And N-Sig, honestly, N-Sig I don't really have a problem with. I barely get hit with N-Sig. And then they buffed the down sig on lands. Well, it's not broken now, but it doesn't look like it should kill, but it does. But other than that, I think her lance kit is pretty okay. Side sig never hits, ever. N-Sig hits sometimes, but other than that, yeah, Scarlet's definitely my most hated legend to play against. Most people would probably say Taros, but honestly, he's not that hard to beat. Just don't get hit by N-Sig. That's it.
I must say, I am more of a Vrax hater myself, but I can definitely see where you're coming from with Scarlet.
I mean, they nerfed his down sig, and that was probably his most scary sig.
For sure.
And honestly, not that many people are good at blasters. It's a pretty hard weapon to learn. So, I'm not that scared of Vrax anymore. Cassidy, definitely, but again, the blasters, after they removed D-Light, true. She's not as scary, I don't think. But yeah.
Understandable. Least favorite matchup against your mains? Like, what would you say is like the hardest matchup to play against?
I think the matchup I have trouble with the most is Bo, which might sound weird because I mean it, but it's so good at controlling the game. So I have trouble against that, and Lance, of course. So what I've been trying is sparring like every Lance main I can find, and there's kind of a lot in Storm Vipers. So
we are the Lance cam.
Yeah. But yeah, so those are my two hardest matchups.
Alright. This is turning into a god on how to beat Cabbage.
Please.
If you're playing him in tournament, take notes.
I'll cry if you play Lance against me.
Epic. You joined the right clan.
Honestly.
So here's another good one. Previous clan experience and how and why did you join the Storm Vipers? Very briefly.
My first clan was Petrichor. It was created by Sword, like a pretty popular member of the community. He's created a lot of clans, but
that's neither here
it
nor
was
there.
a pretty good clan. I'm pretty sure I was a CD Lord. It didn't last a long time though. But yeah, that was my first clan. I stayed in it for like a long time.
When was that? 2018 or 2017?
2017, I think. Then after that, it was pretty much just Storm Records, and from there, I got invited by a friend to the clan. This was when Storm Rapids 2, I think it was just being created. And it was led by Meiji, or Alien, or Amy Winehouse. However, she has so many nicknames, but yeah.
Yeah. Bro,
Yeah, so
I
that's when I
remember
joined
that.
Storm Rapids.
I remember that, low-key. I was so sad when I got moved to SV2. Yep.
Okay, I'm back.
He is alive! Alright, well, as we kind of wrap this fourth installment of Chillin' with SV, is there anything that you want to say as we depart, Cabbage? Anything you want to plug?
Follow me on Twitter. This is my name, literally just Cabbage.
Alright, well... Oh.
I like that out of the game, so...
Sweet. Well, we don't even have to end it in the lobby. So, follow my boy Cabbage on Twitter at CabbageV69 or something.
Yeah.
Gotta love the name. And if that is all she wrote, I think we should end it here. Thank you for coming out, Cabbage.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure. Great to see you sparring again. My name is Wackstah. This has been Cabbage and me. And that concludes the fourth installment of Chillin' with SV. See y'all in the next one.